Task 1. Listen to a lecture in a history class. Of all the generals in the American Civil War, one stands above all the rest: Robert E. Lee. Lee was American nobility. He was born and raised in Virginia. His father was a hero of the Revolutionary War, while Lee himself married George Washington's granddaughter. In 1861, Lee was a colonel in the United States Army when the South left the Union. Lee, claiming he could not draw his sword against his native Virginia, resigned his commission and was soon leading the Army of Northern Virginia. Like most great military generals, Lee was a gambler. Two battles illustrate this tendency. The first is the Battle of Chancellorsville in May 1863. There, Lee broke all the rules of military engagement. Faced by a Union army twice the size of his own, Lee divided his much smaller army not once, not twice, but 3 times. In the process, Lee defeated the Union army and established his reputation as a general equal to Napoleon. Time and again, Lee defeated the much larger Union army. While Chancellorsville was Lee's greatest victory, the Battle of Gettysburg in July 1863 was Lee's greatest defeat. On the 3rd day of battle, Lee, convinced that one final blow would break the Union line, sent the Army of Northern Virginia marching across a mile-wide field. The waiting Union Army annihilated Lee's men. The South never recovered. At war's end, many in the North wanted Lee hung for treason. However, Lee never stood trial. Lincoln wanted reconciliation, not revenge. Task 2. Listen to a lecture in a marine biology class.
Seamounts are of great interest not only to biologists, but to the commercial fishing industry as well. And for good reason. The nutrient-rich water around a seamount is home to an immense variety of fish, many of which have commercial value. One such fish is the orange roughy. In the mid-1970s, orange roughy was found in great numbers around seamounts near New Zealand. The greatest concentrations were found 1 kilometer down, a depth once thought impossible to fish. But this did not stop the fishing industry. No longer did depth protect the fish. Helped by new GPS technology, bottom trawling was born. Bottom trawling involves dragging a net across the ocean floor. This is a very destructive form of fishing, for not only does the net catch orange roughy, but it also destroys the ocean floor and catches other species that are not commercially valuable. This method of fishing was so effective and the demand for orange roughy so great that they were practically wiped out. Another fish directly impacted by bottom trawling is the armorhead. In the 1960s, huge numbers of armorheads were discovered around seamounts northwest of Hawaii. In no time at all, Russian and Japanese fishing fleets virtually wiped out the armorhead. Like orange roughy, armorhead stocks have yet to recover.
Listen as two students discuss the announcement.
Hi, Wendy.
Hey, Tom. Have you heard about the new organic food policy?
Yeah, what a great idea. It's about time the school did something to improve the food around here.
If you ask me, I think the new policy is all wrong.
Why?
Because organic food is way more expensive. In some cases, at least 50% more. Add that to labor costs, money to pay the cafeteria staff, and I'm going to be paying a lot more for my coffee and the milk I put in it. I hate to think what a salad will cost. Organic may be cheaper in the future, but right now it's for people with money, not poor students like me.
But think of all the health benefits. You'll be eating food that doesn't have any chemicals or antibiotics in it. Not only that, but all that good organic food will be lower in fat and calories. I mean, that's got to be good, right?
Don't be fooled. A hamburger is a hamburger, whether the meat is organic or not. Both will have the same amount of fat and calories. The only difference is the organic hamburger has no pesticides or antibiotics in it.
Well, I still think it's a good idea. By offering organic food, we'll be eating a lot better. Even the snacks in the vending machines will be organic. It's definitely the wave of the future. Best of all, we'll be helping local farmers.
What I don't like is the university telling us what we can and can't eat. Not everybody wants to eat organic, If I want to eat non-organic, that's my choice. Sorry, but the school should not be in the healthcare business.
Task 1. Listen as two students discuss the announcement.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Joe. Have you heard about Professor Wright, the new English professor?
I have. I've also heard that her salary is off the charts. I just think it's wrong that a professor should make so much money. She's a teacher, not a rock star. And who's going to pay for her salary? We are. You watch. This time next year, our tuition will go up.
I think Professor Wright deserves her salary. I mean, come on. She's won every literary prize under the sun. And she's not just a writer either. She's also a champion for women's rights. The woman has done it all. Who wouldn't want to take her class?
What I don't understand is why the school is paying so much for an English professor, especially when the English department is so small. At her salary, the school could have renovated the library and still had money left over. If you ask me, the school made a poor investment in hiring Professor Wright.
The school hired Professor Wright because she brings star quality to our school. Her name will really put this school on the map.
My girlfriend goes to Morgan College. She had a really famous math professor. The guy showed up for the first class. After that, grad students did all the teaching while the professor was off lecturing. That's what star professors do. They spend more time promoting themselves than actually teaching. I suspect Professor Wright will do the same.
Well, I think it's a great move on the school's part. Education these days is all about marketing and brand names, and Professor Wright is definitely a brand name.
I just hope you're right about Professor Wright.
Task 2. Listen as two students discuss the announcement.
Hey, Bonnie. Let's check out the job board. Look, they need someone to manage the exercising facility.
Yeah, I saw that.
You should grab it. You're majoring in health sciences, and you're in your graduating year. And I know your GPA is way above 3.0. You're exactly what they're looking for. Go for it.
I don't have time. Besides, I'm not aiming for a career in sports management. I'm aiming for med school. I want to be a doctor. That's been my dream all along. Managing the exercising facility would be a great job, but at this point in my life, it would take me in the wrong direction.
Don't look at it as a career. Look at it as something to put on your resume. Employers want to know if you've had management experience, and that is what this position offers. It's not often a job like this comes around.
I don't have the time. I'm studying for the MCAT.
The medical school entrance test?
Yeah. I've been preparing for it for the last 2 months, 24/7, and I'm still not ready. If I took this job, it would be nothing but a distraction. I'd be worrying about scheduling yoga classes when I should be at home studying organic chemistry. No, my priority right now is getting a high MCAT score so I can go to med school. Why don't you apply for the job?
Me? Are you kidding? I'm a total couch potato.
Task 3. Listen as two students discuss the announcement.
So, Brad, who do you think will win the Student of the Year award?
Mary Jones, of course. She's got my vote.
Mary Jones? You've got to be joking. What's she ever done?
Well, for starters, she's the top of her class. Not only that, but she's organized food kitchens all over town to feed the homeless. I'm telling you, Mary Jones is a complete student. She's got my vote.
Yeah, well, I'm voting for Carl Reed. He's the quarterback. He led our school team to a perfect record, the first time in school history. He's also on the soccer team and the wrestling team. He's an all-around athlete, the total package.
You're forgetting that the winner of the award should best represent the school motto of a diligence and desire. Mary Jones is already working on her second book of poetry, and her soup kitchens are expanding all across the state. On top of that, she just got accepted into Yale. If that's not diligence and desire, I don't know what is.
Diligence and desire is beating the best teams in the state. That's what Carl Reed did, and he's only in second year. You watch. He's going to be a superstar one day.
Football is a team sport. How can you say that one man is responsible for winning all those games? That logic is beyond me. But with Mary Jones, it is clear. Her selfless efforts to help the poor and save the planet are an inspiration to us all.
You want to make a little bet as to who will win?
Bet? What for? Mary Jones is going to win hands down.
Yeah, well, don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Task 4. Listen as two students discuss the new policy. You've got to be kidding. No laptops in class? Where did you hear this?
I read it on the school website. Starting Monday, you can't use a laptop in class. If you do, you'll be asked to leave or turn it off. Actually, I think it's a good idea. In my psychology class, everybody's taking notes on their laptops. That's 40 people all typing away. You can't believe the noise.
But my laptop is my life. I always take notes with it. And now they expect me to use a pen? Forget it. Writing by hand is too slow. Not only that, but I'll have to rewrite my notes when I get home. Talk about a waste of time. This new policy is definitely going to make a lot of people angry.
No, I don't think so. The school is just trying to improve classroom conditions. Imagine trying to teach when everybody is looking at their computers and not at you. Laptops are definitely coming between the teacher and the students.
What angers me is the school said I had to buy a laptop. It was a requirement. So I bought one even though I couldn't afford it. And now the school is telling me not to use the laptop they told me I had to buy? Ridiculous. If I can't use my laptop in class, then the school should refund the cost of buying it. It's only fair. Task 5. Listen as two students discuss the new policy.
Hey, Tony, check out the poster for the new dorms. Nice. Internet ready, laundry in the basement, and a fridge in each.
I prefer the old dorms. They give the school character. These new dorms look like ugly apartment buildings. Not only that, but they have nothing to do with the school's philosophy of maintaining traditional educational values in a traditional New England setting.
Schools have to evolve to meet the needs of each new generation. Our generation is used to certain conveniences, the internet being one. Personally, I can't wait to use the exercising room. The card locks are a nice touch, too.
Electronic card locks? Give me a break. What I don't like is the fact that the room assignments are first come, first served. I think second-year students should have priority over first years when it comes to choosing rooms. I've already invested plenty in this school. As a returning second-year student, I should at least have some rights. But with this system, I will be competing with first years. I just don't think it's fair.
First come, first served makes everybody equal. Also, it's a good way of determining whether or not you are serious about studying here.
Yeah? Well, I've decided not to come back.
What? Why not?
I'm engaged.
Really? Congratulations.
Thanks, but it means that as a second year, I'm no longer eligible for a dorm room. See what it says here? Dorms are divided by gender. That means my fiancé and I can't live together. Since there are no dorm rooms for married couples, I've decided to drop out.
Task 6. Listen as two students discuss the new policy.
I can't believe it! Who dreamed up this policy?
What policy? What are you talking about?
There's a new policy posted on the board here. It says, before I can graduate, I have to complete 48 hours of volunteer work. Over 3 months, that's 4 hours a week. Where am I going to find 4 hours a week? I have a part-time job. I can't quit. I need the money. Sorry, but I can't afford to spend time volunteering.
But think of all the experience you will gain. Volunteering looks good on a resume, you know. Employers want to know if you're involved with the community. My father's a lawyer. He does free legal work all the time.
Yeah, well, your father doesn't have to write a graduate thesis. Volunteering will rob me of time I'm going to need for researching and writing next semester. This new policy puts way too much pressure on graduating students. Graduating students should be focused on researching and writing. This is not adding to our educational experience. It's simply a distraction.
Come on, 4 hours a week is not going to kill you. I mean, really, you could do an hour a night for 4 nights, or all 4 hours on Saturday morning. 4 hours won't be that hard to fit into your schedule.
What I don't like is this is the first time I've heard about this policy. If the university is suddenly going to change the graduation requirements, they should at least give us 6 months warning. If I had known, I might have switched schools. Now I have no choice. If I don't volunteer, I don't graduate.